So 144,000 and na ombeko heaven ana. Me pese bebisa sa asem say. Because ya wo yenu bebre ya wo mo e kire say 144,000 and omo ko heaven. Enti won kan 144,000 no ho a wo de won kan ho. Na me pese ye hwe Bible mu. Titiri yenu Jehovah Witnesses for me din chia kese mamo. Baby biara mo wono. I want to reason together with you. And it me ba mo nchan a asumdwe. Now, Revelation chapter 7, no, you back in kind from verse 1, sa akopim verse 9. They who say so 144,000. By then, before you back in kind Revelation chapter 7, my more historical background kakra with the book of Revelation. The book of Revelation, history ewo any say around AD 96 John Etroye no. A Christopher omo ye the first century Christian. A Christopher omo edikan. Na ahemfo a omo ye Romanfo tete omo na ye kunkunkuku omo. I think say wa share the history of churches na nsem me no esua ya obeti ase pa. Na ye kunkum Church of Christ for rough ye to me ben obi na ka say denounce Yesu and na ko kasa me ne Yesu nanti obi na say we say wo mpene we yo Kristo nti na ye de piano na ye de awo feel ebi wa na ya bo mo asem dua mu na ye de oja ato omo mu ebi wo in fact ye de omo koto lions den na omo ewi omo in fact omo brey na emu na yawurade Yesu Kristo enam abofo so etwere krata Emma Yohani say odi bema a Christopher say a Christopher de ekoso ni nyina no me Yesu mahu enti emma mo mpaba na wo biara wo betumi agina saa adie yi ano no na wanhwere wo gidie no wo benya enkwa na mom sede be ya saa ade na Yesu etwere ade ama Christopher na ode ahye omo den na ode kanya omo na omo a Christopher who say you have victory if only you remain in me no oyusu language bia na eye Jewfo language ya from apocalyptic literature Jewfo literature no na enye easy to be understood by the Romans na mom Jewfo mo be ya Christopher and Roman fo so ebi no be ya Christopher no onam say Christopher nyina no e be hia nti say the Church of Christ for ye shia da since as on start ya ye nkyerechire no they taught them how to understand apocalyptic literature. Eti Yesu eyusu saa kasei na ode di opese a Christopher ehu no ode besie woni a womo tete a Christopher no na afei womo omo ya Christopher no de ombeti ase aha so it was encrypted. It used to be a from encryption. It was hidden from the Romans and then it was open to the Christians. Saa na tie na apocalyptic literature no symbols it 144,000 so a symbol be a ejina homa bribi afa numbers number 1 number 2 number 3 number 4 number 10 number 1,000 eno so jina ho emma bribia but unim number 12 ejina ho emma organized religion in its completeness. Organized religion in its completeness. It won't say most of the time no say who study trend now 12 tribes of Israel. Won't say organized religion. 12 apostles. Organized what you say it nyankopon or you're very organized. It adie no or ye ne said ye be fefe e be wie peye ohun aha inform so bia eni ho. Into or the 12 no ejina ho emma that. Afi yewo 12 gates of the holy city. Enti 12 no enye just a literal 12, enye ordinary 12. Nemum 12 ejina ho ma organized religion in its completeness. Esoma ejina ho say sa esom no esombo na informso bia eni ho eye fefefe ewie peye. Afi so no 10 ejina ho ma fullness and completeness. Enti wo 10 a enye literal 10. Ejina ho ma fullness and now completeness. Enti say yefa 144 every mostly in apocalyptic literature no ye use multiplication. Enti 12 times 12 which is 144. 10 ye 12 times 12 which is 144. But ye wo 12 so no ye yi every numbers 2 mu baako eye 4 and a baako eye 3 into your multiplier and yinya 12 no because they are part of the apocalyptic literature. Me no ye calculation kakra ewo ha. But me say be a little bit complicated but yembie ya adwen mu aha yembie ya adwen mu kakra de nya botre hwe videos many times obeti ase. 84 na homa perfect word number. Ye ka perfect word number eno ne north, south, east, and west. After 3 no gyina perfect number of deity. Perfect number of deity. Yaka deity nyame. Yamfa ade a yesom no. Ade a yesom no. Enti na yewo agya no oba no ene honhom kronkron no. Enti 12 no engina hɔ kwa. 12 no eye 4 times 3 ena ye 12. Na kyerɛ sɛ in fact ampara eye 12 no ya ampara sɛ de etie no organized religion in its completeness. Yes. Afei sɛ yaka 1000 apocalyptic literature no na se kyerɛ no enie absolute total completeness. 1000 sa na tie absolute total completeness. Na kyerɛ sɛ 1000 de yaka absolute peye na ade ne ewie no very completely. Sa na betumi like ewie peye pa no de no like question bi enka ho. Na o study ade na tie ne ye o menua awutia me 144,000 no ejina ho ema absolute completeness both physically and spiritually. Absolute completeness both physically and spiritually. That is 12 times 12 times 10 times 10 times 10. Na try say 144,000 say ade no ewie peye ewo honamu ene hohum. Enti ye quote the book of Revelation na ye ko hu 144,000 na saa enkofo na ye bebo omu din ni nyina no wo mo ejina ho say saa enkofo no ejina ho ma biribi na saa ade na ejina ho no e kye say wo mo ewie peye ewo honhom mu ene hunamu eno ti minua saara ena etie enti minua fa wo Bible no mesraw making kind wo English na mesraw say wo twi a making kind wo second kind na di machiri what ase ne ye nkyerɛkyerɛ mu mesraw 144,000 Revelation chapter 7 verse 1 to 9 ene ye making kind afiri ho ye pese ye hu se so eye only 144,000 ena wo mo ekwa na said ye medi kan ene wa calculations using apocalyptic literature no for Bible nyame nhyiraw o say after these things I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, on the sea, or on any tree. Enti o say ohun abofo anan, say sa abofo anan no, womo ekura ewiase ni mu, ebi gina north, ebi gina east, ebi gina south, ebi so gina west. Said ye be ya wind bi me blow me say asase no na kire say nyankopon a fortify ewiase ni in such a way say tell say the opese oye e wasase so no awie peye no ade biara entumi ensay no. Okay, yanko verse 2. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea. Na fe ohun abofo se abofo bi efri east na no ono etiemu ekasa kire abofo anan na wo mukura ewiase ni mu se de be ya when the biara embe blow anadie biara emesei ewiase no. Yanko verse 3 saying, do not harm the earth, the sea, or the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God on their foreheads. After what Tiamu said, Emma won say asase no sesiye kopem say wono abofo no besili obiara onyankopon pese ogye no ewo no forehead. Okay, verse 4. And I heard the number of those who were sealed, 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel were sealed. Afi o say at that time no abofo no tiamu eka kire abofo anan say emfehwe nka asase so enseye no kopem say wasili onyankopon nkofo a opese ogye omo nyina awie no ohun say afi nkofo dodo a at that instant ye sili omo no eye 144,000. 5 of the tribe of Judah 12,000 were sealed. Tieni yo enti Judah abusuakuo no yasili nkofo 12,000 sana disem no ekem. Of the tribe of Reuben 12,000 were sealed. Afe Reuben abusuakuo no yasili nkofo 12,000. Okay. Of the tribe of Gad 12,000 were sealed. After I say God abusuakuo no 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher, 12,000 were sealed. After I say Asher abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali, 12,000 were sealed. After I say Naphtali abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh, 12,000 were sealed. After I say Manasseh abusuakuo no 12,000 ana yasili. Of the tribe of Simeon, 12,000 were sealed. After I say Simeon abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi, 12,000 were sealed. After Levi abusuakuo no 12,000 and also yasili no. Of the tribe of Issachar, 12,000 were sealed. After I say Issachar abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun, 12,000 were sealed. After Zebulun abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph, 12,000 were sealed. After Joseph abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. And I say of the tribe of Benjamin, 12,000 were sealed. After Benjamin abusuakuo no yasili 12,000. Verse 9 I say, after these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with the white robes, with palm branches in their hands. Tienio, or say, afe, or who say a silly way 12,000, 12,000, or sounds who say, Yahu unkofo pem omufri omai omo kasa ahodo bebre a wo mo nsoso no ejina Yesu Kristo sa lamb na ejina oma Yesu Kristo anim na sa nkofo no chasa wo mo so anya enkwa. Say we study Revelation chapter 7 we can sa akopem verse 9 na entiasia no very simple if only say what apocalyptic literature ase na nunti na me no wadi kan aye calculation. But before Bema on Tiasi, a checking analysis be the 12 tribes of Israel. No? Genesis said your honesty, no, and they said your Revelation honesty, no, and ye pepe, and ye different. Enti onam say Revelation is symbolic inti. It is different from Genesis. Enti fa obu Bible no, where the men can winya da ja kenkan, but maybe listed at ya chero. Now ya compare ama Revelation. Mpaucho medasi say wo hwe. Show. Oh say my list Revelation chapter 7 verse 1 to 9 and I walk the other side no. And you won't say Judah and Edikai, Reuben, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, Simeon, Levi, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph and Benjamin. Yanko Genesis chapter 35 verse 22 to 26. Sa woko hona na se woken kanya. Dedikai Jacob bano Reuben and the year firstborn. But what we say ye lesia ye the firstborn na Edikai. But Oba Revelation and the Judah emum and a D kind. So it means to say enye literal apocalyptic literature. Ejina homa biribi. Afe Simeon and a toswo mienu ewo Genesis 35. But Oba adisama Reuben and a toswo mienu. Won say enye literal. Afe wo share Genesis na Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Joseph, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, Asher. And it is how compare the last tribe na Genesis enemy Asher, but Revelation the enemy Benjamin. Well, now TBB. So we share Revelation more Dan enka ho, but the actual 12 tribes no a ewa pamda da mu no Dan eka ho. After so the actual 12 tribes no so we share emu a moyan show shemu ubehu Manasseh. So yan hwehwemu se ebehu Manasseh. What dey hwehwem nya abotra hwehwem. Person me no sua de pure biblical studies. Manasseh bia enim mabwa very good. Mama yan hwehwe se ebehu Dan ewo Revelation de na Dan bia eni ho. Na cha say enye the 12 tribe no literal one no and ye the bar Revelation chapter 7. It Revelation chapter 7 no said ye apocalyptic language no Sarah ene etie. Menuanom a mu tie me. Enti Joseph ne ma ne ene Manasseh ene Ephraim. Nemo afi omo de ne baba akwa ye Manasseh ekwo share Revelation chapter 7. Ohun. Enti menua say o compare Revelation chapter 7 said ye onemi the 12 tribes of Israel. Ene Genesis chapter 35 said ye also enlisted the 12 tribes of Israel now. different from Revelation chapter 7. Nature say ampara Revelation chapter 7 no ye use apocalyptic language ena ye kenkan. Eti 144,000 gina hono absolute completeness both physically and spiritually. Nature say one year Nyankopon je wo no. Mini no ejina ho emma say Onyankopon oje enipa nyina omobeji yewrade Yesu Kristo adi. He who believes oje enipa nyina omobeji yewrade Yesu Kristo atumu so oye no na jenkwa obedi ne mransam so na wabeka Kristo asafo aye Church of Christ ho tieni ye o minua oje enipa nyina nemom enye te se oje a Kristofo nko a nemom Judaism Jewfo esom a eno so abesia akodada no oje wo mo nso yanko verse 9 of Revelation 7 ehompo na obie no ma bibiri kire. After these things I looked, and behold, a great multitude which no one could number, of all nations, tribes, peoples, and tongues, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with the white robes, with palm branches in their hands. One, enti only stay 144,000, you know. After some whom kofo bebre pem se omo kan omo ho. Enti minu anom Jehovah Witness for no. Enye 144,000 kwa na ebekọ osoro ahimi mu. Nemum obiara obeje yewrade Yesu Kristo adi se oye nyame. Afie de toso mienu obedi ne mransam so na wama no ho kwan amane yabonasu abehye Kristo asafo mu no. Oje sa enipa no. John 12:26 yenhwe biribi. John 12:26. John chapter 12 verse 26 yenhwe asama yewrade Yesu Kristo eba asasi so no okan. I say, if anyone serves me, let him follow me, and where I am, there my servant will be also. If anyone serves me, him my Father will honor. John 12:26 no. Say obi somia ondi machi na fa kwa me wono eho ena me somfo ebeba. Eti Yesu emi ati ase say obia enye Israel fo nko a dabi Israel fo mu awu abesia kọ ne ade afi patriarchs ajanom te say Adam ya janom Abraham Jacob nom ne ne honkakafo no nyina no a wo som nyame no Yesu oji obia nti owi ye no emoja no esan kọ back ekọ te sa nkofo no eho ose obia unya daje a mesro wo ye Jehovah Witness ne John 12:26 kenkan ose obi biara opeso osom no ondi machiri na faako a me wo no eho na me somfo ebeba menua me no ebesi ha